Today I'll be revealing the top 10 operators to play in Year 9 Season 2 of Rainbow Six Siege. These are the best overall defenders and attackers for both PC and console. So whether you solo queue, duo queue, or 5-stack, these are the most objectively strong operators in the game that will help you and your team perform better and win. Now, there are a lot of strong operators in the game right now, and honestly, I could easily turn this list of 10 into a list of 30, so don't be scared to use your favorite picks because basically everyone is a viable option right now. Nonsense. He's so dog shit. Sorry, something in my throat there. My bad. Anyway, let's get into it with our number 10 operator, which is Cade. Cade isn't good on every ranked map, but he's very strong on most of them. If you want to almost guarantee to keep whatever major wall shut, then Cade tricking is a super effective way to do it. The only counter to Cade tricking is Thatcher throwing 2 EMPs back to back at the right time, and most people are only throwing 1 down. It's also super effective against the EMP gadget, as it's hard to throw them perfectly within range of the claws to get them, and time them properly to stop the trick. You can also do invincible Cade spots on specific bomb sites to avoid vertical play on the claws while also countering Cali. So if they're trying to go underneath to destroy the Cade claw, they won't be able to get them this way either. There's just a lot of plays you can do with Cade, making him super good. He's definitely the strongest wall denial operator in the entire game, with the claws being the most adaptive in terms of placement and the smallest in size. He can cover a lot of ground with those 2 electro claws. Plus he has 2 great weapons. You can use the TCSG to make rotate holes and absolutely plow through people, or you can use the AUG if you just want that fully automatic power. Having a C4 to top it all off makes Cade our number 10 pick. At number 9, we have Ying. Ying is super strong for site executes, as most of us know, being able to blind everyone, except for Warden of course, and block angles onto the planter while wasting a ton of time on the defenders, allowing your team to get the bomb down. This is the most basic way to play her, but it is very strong. She's also super effective for clearing players out of rooms that they may have extended the bomb site into, and if you have info on someone, a quick Candela on the ground is all it takes to get an absolutely free kill. Because she's immune to her own Candelas, it gives her the advantage on operators with flashbangs, being able to spam those Candelas, push in on the flashes, and being able to actually capitalize off it a lot easier. Plus, she has 6 projectiles in total if you're running the smokes, meaning she can single-handedly clear any ADSs and Wamidis that might be in the way. Most of the time, you can even burn the ADSs for yourself, and then still have enough utility to make the play that you want to make. You can bring the hard breach tools, but pretty much all the time I'm personally running the smokes. Her LMG has a ton of ammo, so it's great for covering on that plant or taking on multiple fights back to back if you need to. And with Warden only having the 1-time sight now, he's barely played anymore outside of Pro League, making Ying even more lethal in your rank games. At number 8, we have Lesion. Lesion is extremely well-rounded, being able to achieve a lot as an individual operator. His goo mines provide a ton of information and cover a lot of ground on the defense. They're also great if you put them in late round areas like around the site or on common plant spots. That way if they come too late, they'll hit the goo mine and not be able to actually plant. He also has one of the best defender primary weapons on both PC and console, having little to no recoil and doing a ton of damage while having a high fire rate. The T5 is an absolute beast. He's also got that secondary shotgun for site setup and on the fly plays for maximum versatility. He did used to have impact grenades as a secondary gadget, which were really strong, but even without them, he's still super good. Pretty much everything you wanted to do with the impacts before, you can do now still with the shotgun. It just costs him a little bit of time, but luckily Legion's gadget is quick to use, so he has the extra time. He's cool without the impacts. It's cool, man. And our 7th best operator for Year 9 Season 2 is going to be Montagne. Monty is the best shield operator in the entire game right now, allowing you to get up close easily with the safety of the extension and then drop your shield down and melee with that lethal shield charge. Ever since they changed the shields, they've gotten way more annoying, way more spammy, and way harder to deal with. Now that they can just bump you over and kill you if they get close range, teamwork is even more important to take them out. Plus, they made impacts do less damage, so you have even more opportunities to take less damage as Monty and be more aggressive. When you have that shield up, Monty creates teamwork just by existing. Just standing in a doorway and pressuring the defenders is enough to make them squirm, make them move around, and allow your teammates to pick them off. You basically just sit there and distract the defenders, and if they get a little too close to you, you punch them in the face till they die. And if they get a little too negligent, you pistol whip them in the face till they die. Monty is really strong on PC, but I think he's even stronger on console since aiming vertically and trying to aim down at his knees is even more difficult. Next up we have Melusi. I think Melusi is the strongest trap operator in the entire game right now. Placing her wubs around the site entrances make for a fantastic safety net, and you're not going to get snuck up on by the enemies. Those wubs are very loud, but they also slow the attackers, making them easier targets and giving you a massive advantage in the gunfights. The MP5 ACOG is a headshot machine, and Melusi is essentially just Doc with a much better ability that also doesn't require you to stay alive in order for it to be effective. She also has those impact grenades, so you can still do a bit of site setup or use them on the fly for making plays. At number 5 is Buck. Buck is the safest vertical breacher in the game. Sledge is just too slow and clunky, and Ram is major overkill, but Buck is the perfect mixture of safety with calculated flow that allows for ideal vertical breaching. A lot of the time, those big ram holes actually work better in the defender's favor, and Sledge is probably going to get C4'd. Another nice perk Buck has is that he's on the package of the R6 Black Ice protein cookies, which are the tastiest protein cookies to ever grace humanity. I slam one of these things almost every day. I'm kind of completely obsessed with them. Plus, there's a little QR code on the back, which if you scan, you can enter to win in-game prizes as well. You can go get them at drinkcontrol.com. The link to that is in the description. If you bundle up some items, you can get up to 20% off, and then you can get an additional 10% off by using code POX at checkout. Let's get back to our boy Buck though. Buck is fast and versatile, and he brings a ton of aggression factor if you choose to play him that way. You're able to blow open walls on the fly, pop open hatches, and just be really aggressive. When you're playing from below, you're forcing defenders out of position, allowing for your teammates to get easy kills on the site, or even getting one yourself if you're lucky. And while you can play him aggressively, you can also play him very safe and passively, holding control of areas off-site in order to catch roamers on their rotates while using the skeleton key to pressure the bomb site. He's one of the only operators in the game that can do hard breaching as well as soft breaching, being able to open hatches with his hard breach tools. He's a great SoloQ operator if you bring the flashbangs, allowing for even bigger playmaking potential. Overall, Buck is fast, aggressive, but he can also be slow, passive, and calculated. This all adds up to be like this one-man army of Siege, with the shotgun also being great for killing at the close range. But he's still not the very best operator in the game because there's still 4 more operators that are even better. Number 4 is Azami. Azami has been overpowered literally since she came out, and she still hasn't been nerfed to the point where she needs to be. She's OP on basically every site in the game still. She adds complexity and confusion to the defense, requiring the attackers to drone more and gather more information, which is just not an easy task. She can create cover on the fly, block off angles, and has limitless possibilities in terms of playmaking. She can kind of do it all, and that's a massive strength that she has on the other operators. Both her primary weapons are absolutely lethal. With the shotgun, you can do sight setup and then bring the barb for great information. If you're running the SMG, you can make lines of sight with the deagle still and have that close range aggression factor. You can just bring the impacts to make the rotates if you need. The third best operator in Year 9 Season 2 is going to be Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi calls last so long and are so loud and so annoying. They also affect dead defenders, making the calls lethal in the late round. The dead defenders will lose camera access when the call goes off, making it so the remaining alive players don't have any callouts anymore. If that's not strong enough already, you're gaining information of where those defenders are at the same time thanks to the noise of the call. And if you hack the cams earlier in the round, you might have pinpoint camera callouts on them too. It just all stacks up for such a powerful ability. Using the calls early, however, can lead to calls early on in the round. This allows you to hack the defender's cameras from that point and then have that information for the rest of the round, which is insanely strong. I believe Dokkaebi is the most effective roam clear operator because she gives you such an advantage with those hack cams, and the calls help your entire team. She makes teamwork easy and simple. For example, if everyone is pushing a called defender, it's going to be much more coordinated and easier to achieve than one person droning and calling them out accurately. The phone call is just more precise, and it's live info, meaning everyone can act off it instantly without having to wait for a call out and then wait to react to that call out and then take action on it. Plus, it's going to stay updated longer and be more effective overall. So yeah, Dokkaebi's kind of a beast, and that's why she's number 3. At number 2 is the best defender in the game, which is Mute. Mute is the best best counter info operator in the entire game. He has more jammers than Mozzie, and he's more effective than Vigil. He counters tons of the attackers, including Lion, Dokkaebi, Finka, Blitz, Deimos, Grim, Flores, Twitch, Brava, Yana, Nomad, Ace, Hibana, Thermite, Fuse, and Sense. And if that wasn't enough, he also counters every single drone from any other operator, as well as claymores and hard breach tools too. And a lot of the operators I mentioned on that list don't have any other counters besides Mute, so he's just like this one dude that's just so good at countering so many people that you can't use anyone else for. It's crazy. He's got a shotgun for sight setup or just shotgunning people in the chest, which is really, really good, and then the SMG-11, which is one of the best guns in the game once you can manage the recoil. And I'll admit it might take a little bit of time to actually get used to that recoil, but if you're new, it's definitely worth it. He is so good. I also have to give an honorable mention to Smoke. I didn't put him on the list just because he is so similar to Mute, but he does require quite a bit more skill to use, whereas Mute is very simple, very easy, and still so good. And then we have the best operator in Year 9 Season 2, overall, Ace. Ace is the best hard breacher in the game right now. Whether you're on console or PC, the AK-12 is literally the best gun in the game. It's just a complete laser with a high rate of fire and dealing tons of damage. Ace charges are great for breaching, and he can do it at range, which is the benefit that he has over Thermite. Plus, he breaches quicker than Hibana, and he makes bigger holes than her too. Ace is very low risk. It's very fast to throw an Ace charge down to get your gun back up and be very safe while doing it. Whereas with other hard breachers, you're putting yourself at a bit of a risk to pull your tool out and hoping that your team can cover you. Ace is super versatile, being able to throw Selmas down on soft floors for vertical blade, take down shields, or just be a quick and effective noise cover as you're pushing in. He can be played as a main hard breacher, but he's still super effective as a flex operator, lurking around the map with the Selmas, being useful in many different situations. He can add tons of pressure by just opening new lines of sight, and he's just the best operator in the game. So yeah, suck it. See ya.